When everything began in the first dimension, reality started to split into two and became the second dimension, which is the duality of positive and negative. Then, the third dimension determines the experiences we will undergo based on this positive and negative duality. The fourth dimension creates the temporal context for our experiences, allowing us to experience and focus on each timeline and spaceline. The fifth dimension helps us understand the purpose of these experiences. The sixth dimension is where the two different paths of experience of reality, light and darkness, are created. Thus, the sixth dimension and the third dimension create each other. As I mentioned earlier, the birth of dimensions has no sequential order. They create each other through the act of breathing. The sixth dimension is the dimension that creates every pattern of matter as we know it. However, this matter and its creation are different from the matter in the third dimension. Matter in the third dimension is limited by space in the third dimension and time in the fourth dimension. But matter in the sixth dimension is not constrained by time and space. Therefore, in this dimension, you can create any reality you desire. This is also why the Big Bang originated from the sixth dimension, as the time and space of the third dimension came into existence only after the Big Bang. Before the Big Bang, time and space did not exist. This is because the Big Bang originated from the sixth dimension, which has no time and space, and was brought to the third dimension through a portal. The sixth dimension is the dimension of the architects of the universe. They are alchemists, capable of creating and transforming reality, designing scenes and scripts for experiences in the third dimension. They are the behind-the-scenes workers of the cosmic testing ground. The sixth dimension is also the dimension of angels, who are messengers of God. Because the third, sixth, and ninth dimensions are interconnected, the sixth dimension can create realities in the third dimension for the God of the ninth dimension to experience. Due to polarity, the sixth dimension also splits, resulting in beings of light and beings of darkness. The beings of darkness are the architects of the universe. They use light and energy, combining them to create structures and forms of matter that spirits can experience, feel, and touch. This creation process involves continuously splitting the energy of light, creating fractal shapes and reflections of light. But these reflections are different from the original light. They are distorted, making it impossible to recognize their true nature. The true purpose of this is to create something that appears different from light, so that spirits, who are inherently light, can discover their own light through experience. Just like when a spirit enters an experience field, if everything around it is light, it cannot realize that it is light itself. Therefore, different backgrounds such as darkness and shadows are needed. Through contrast, it can see its essence. As a being of light, it cannot see itself as light when surrounded by light. Only in darkness or shadows can it discover that it is light. This is the meaning behind their creation. But the light and darkness in the sixth dimension are not opposites. They are complementary. Beings of light and beings of darkness are not adversaries, but colleagues. In the sixth dimension, angels and demons work together. The light is responsible for designing the purpose and paths of self-recognition for the spirits, while the darkness adds different backgrounds to this path of self-discovery, helping the spirits complete this task. These different backgrounds are distorted light and darkness, among others. All your experiences in the world are created by darkness. Therefore, the original light and darkness are just two different paths of experience. They are not different things, but different aspects of the same reality. They are not opposites either. The reason we think of light and darkness as opposites is due to the influence of duality. In the third dimension, the best way to understand their relationship is that wherever there is light, whether indoors or outdoors, there is darkness. The two are inseparable by nature. As long as you are in the light, you cannot escape darkness, because that darkness is your own shadow. When we recognize the interdependent nature of light and darkness, we transcend the perspective of duality to understand them. One of the most famous architects of the universe in the sixth dimension is Lucifer, a fallen angel. Lucifer originally means the most beautiful light of God. When creating reality, he had different thoughts. He wondered, if the reality I create is also light, how can I discover my own light? So, he wanted to create a different path. Thus, he turned into darkness. In the third dimension, we often associate Lucifer's fall with the chaos and darkness of the third dimension. But from the universe's perspective, darkness is just another path for the universe to explore itself. Lucifer is like the rebellious child in a family who chooses a different path from his siblings to understand himself and find his own meaning. However, we don't hate or despise that sibling because he is also our family. He is just different from us, with different personalities. But the end of darkness is to return to light. This is why many beings who choose the path of negative evolution ultimately need to find love to return to their origins. The universe provides two evolutionary paths for spirits' experiences, positive and negative. The positive path is about serving others and symbolizes the path of light, whereas the negative path is about serving oneself and symbolizes the path of darkness. But regardless of the form spirits take when choosing these two paths, they are all embodiments of the same Creator. It simply wishes to experience different roles simultaneously. Therefore, in the third dimension, we might hate darkness and dislike those who harm us. But fundamentally, these individuals are another version of ourselves, embodiments of the same Creator. They are merely exploring different evolutionary paths. The third dimension is where souls need to choose between service to others or service to self. This choice determines their subsequent evolutionary paths and patterns. Souls that choose the path of love will embark on a journey of continuous elevation of their density until they return to the source. However, souls that choose the negative path can only evolve to the sixth density and cannot evolve further. This is because beyond the sixth density, there is only unity and love. They can only continue evolving by transitioning to the positive path. In the third dimension, we might wonder why some bad people are so wicked. This is because the souls who have chosen the positive path of evolution, the more loving, kind, and compassionate they are, the faster they will enter the next density and evolve. Conversely, for souls who have chosen the negative path of evolution, this process is exactly the opposite. The worse and crueler they are, and the more negative things they do, the faster they will evolve on the negative path, which will help them enter the next density faster. I understand that from a human perspective, this concept is difficult to grasp. Therefore, you need to view it from the universe's perspective. For the universe, there is no good or bad, right or wrong. Everything is an experience it wishes to undergo. You can think of it as an actor. As an actor, you don't just want to play good guys. You also want to play bad guys or even demons. This is why the universe has made this arrangement, to experience all different aspects. Good and evil are merely concepts of humanity. Darkness and light are inherently one, because darkness is just a distortion of light. There is only light in the entire universe, and everything else is just vibrations or distortions of light at different frequencies or wave bands. This is the only truth. As those of us in the third dimension who are deeply affected by the confrontation between darkness and light, it is important to look beyond duality to see the truth of this universe. Just as the essence of duality is creation rather than confrontation, the essence of light and darkness is creation. Creation for the experience of the universe. The subsequent phenomena of duality and opposition between light and darkness are due to our misunderstanding of their nature. So the two, who were originally complementary, were regarded as opposites in the distortion of this world. The essence of the universe is all-encompassing, meaning it embraces everything. Just as we all have a light and a dark side. When we look at darkness again, let's not rush to criticize it, but rather see its projection on us. Because everything external is a projection of our inner being. If there is disharmony in your life, try to see if there is balance within you. Try to recognize, understand, and transform your dark side into light. Only when our inner being is harmonious can the world be harmonious. The so-called wars, disasters, and chaos are also due to the projection of disharmonious energy within the human collective. We can use force to combat violence, use war to seek peace, but deep down, we know these methods cannot bring lasting peace. The only way to achieve permanent peace is for each individual to heal their inner darkness and achieve inner balance.